Video, we're going to talk about the 5 natural remedies, natural medications for postpartum anxiety so you can learn how to feel calm again. Now, this is something I help my clients with, and if this is of interest to you, make sure you grab the free postpartum recovery roadmap below so you know where to get started, your first steps. I know it's very overwhelming where you are right now, so the postpartum recovery roadmap is the checklist to help you get started today. Grab that below. So make sure you stay to the end because I'm going to share 2 pieces of the puzzle that may be missing in your healthcare program for healing postpartum anxiety. So what are the 5 natural medications to heal postpartum anxiety? Number 1, herbal medicine. Now, when I talk about herbal medicine, I'm talking about herbal teas, herbal decoctions, herbal tinctures, and maybe some essential oils. Now, herbal teas are the best liquid, the best drink you can be consuming right now, high-quality herbal teas, because they're filled with vitamins and minerals to nourish your body at this time after a pregnancy, even if your children are older. So the One Daily Tea Blend, I'll leave a link below, that I suggest all my moms take, has stinging nettles and milky oat tops. The stinging nettles has so many vitamins and minerals that it really helps calm your body. The milky oat tops help nourish the nervous system. So the combination of these 2 fresh herbs sitting for over 4 hours in hot water is when you extract that liquid, you're really nourishing your body. So I always suggest moms start with herbal teas, and depending on the age of your child, you have to start slow. For example, if your child is under 3 weeks age, then you want to use caution when consuming any herbal teas, anything new, especially if you or your partner may have an allergy to herbs or botanicals. So herbal teas are really the first piece of your healthcare plan. You want to be consuming high quality teas, ideally fresh leaf if you can order them from a farm or from Mountain Rose Herbs. I also like Jean's Greens, which is in New York here. But look for a pharmacy, an apothecary near you that sells these fresh leaf herbs. And that's your first step, is learning about the herbs and learning what's safe for you if you're breastfeeding, and consuming 1 herb at a time, and then learning how to blend the herbs together to consume a tea that nourishes your body. Often in America, we would reach for coffee all day long when we're exhausted, but that just sets us up for poor health as our children grow older, and insomnia. So herbal teas, high quality herbal teas, are really the best thing that you can consume right now to support digestion, to support your sleep, and to support exhaustion. It's the first step. Herbal tinctures are something that we talk about as well a lot on this channel. So herbal tinctures, if you're wondering what a tincture is, take for example chamomile flower in a mason jar. So we put chamomile flower in the mason jar and we cover it with vodka and water. It sits for 6 weeks, say. We can chop it up a little bit or blend it up and then strain it out, and then that's what's called a tincture. Now that's very basic. You want to learn more about how to create tinctures, but in a basic way, that's how you can consume herbal medicine fast and efficiently without having to make a cup of tea. Now this works well for when you're about to go to sleep and in the middle of the night, because when you're about to go to sleep, you don't want to make a cup of tea because you might have to get up and go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. So in the middle of the night, you could take a tincture, say ashwagandha tincture if that works for your body, and that could help you go to sleep faster. Instead of coming downstairs and making a cup of tea, you might have quicker, faster results if you keep the tinctures by your bedside and consume them when you wake up in the middle of the night. So we have herbal teas and herbal tinctures. Now additionally, you want to consume adaptogens and nervines. Now, all this is a category of herbs, how they categorize herbs, and how they affect your body. All herbs work on all systems of the body, so different than medications that typically target one organ, and herbal medicine affects all organs. I picture it like a cascade effect, like a waterfall. It's just coming down on your body, nourishing your cells and your organs, and not affecting your microbiome, which many medications do. So we use the adaptogen plus Nervine formula within the Present Mama, which is an online course that I teach. And the combination, the adaptogens, helps prevent burnout. So if you feel like you're in fight or flight, like you can't stop, you need some adaptogens. And then Nervines help your body stay calm. So think of chamomile as like a simple Nervine. And then we have valerian and hops and kava kava, which is a bit stronger. So think of this timeline, a horizontal line. Chamomile's way over here and valerian roots over here. So you're looking for herbs on the spectrum of this line depending on how severe your anxiety and insomnia is. Let me know if that makes sense, and if you have any questions about herbal medicine, I'm happy to answer them. The second medication that I love to use that you won't find doctors using is homeopathic medicine. Have you used homeopathy before? Let me know in the comment area below. Now, it takes years of training to figure out the remedies, sometimes. So companies like Boron have created blended homeopathic remedies that have about 3 to 5 remedies within them, hoping that they're finding the one remedy to help you. For example, there's a sleep remedy called Sleep Fort, that's by Highlands, and it has an array of homeopathic blends. When you work with a homeopath, though, an ideal situation would be one remedy, one dose. Did you hear that? One remedy, one dose. It's very uncommon. In America, we tend to think more is better. So I have 2 full trainings on how to use homeopathy for adults and for children, which I can link below. But homeopathic remedy works the best when you have acute and severe symptoms that are unlike yourself. For example, if you wake up at midnight startled with tons of fear and anxiety, aconite may be the best remedy for you. This also works for your child who has croup, because they wake up between 12 and 2 a.m. startled and scared to death, and aconite is the fastest remedy to help them go back to sleep. So homeopathy, when you learn how to use it, is the best way to help these acute situations of panic and to help you stay calm. There's also a blend called Nerve Tonic, which I'll link below, that can really help take the edges away, take the edges off. So moms say often they reach for alcohol or medications because they're always on edge. This Nerve Tonic is a natural way to just mellow out a little bit. It's not going to help the anxiety 100%, but it may just take that edge off a bit. Number 3, amino acids. So I'm talking about GABA, tryptophan, lysine. Now you have to be careful if you're breastfeeding, because I'm not sure if they are approved for breastfeeding, but they have been the most restorative way that I've gotten my energy back and have calmed heart palpitations. So let me explain. Some of these amino acids are found in proteins, and often my moms are not consuming enough proteins for various reasons. One of the reasons I didn't consume protein is due to digestion. It was really hard for me to digest meat. So if that is one of the reasons you don't consume meat, consider taking a digestive enzyme when you're consuming the meat. The meat is essential for not only the amino acids, but to help steady your blood sugar over the day. It's really, really hard to do if you're vegan, and additionally, you need extra B vitamins and choline if you choose to be vegan during this time. And if you've lost a ton of blood, iron is a concern. So the fastest way to boost your iron is with red meat. So we have these amino acids that you can take in supplement form, but be careful because you can take too much of them. So often what you're doing is watching your symptoms, waiting, and then choosing a remedy based on your symptoms. For example, GABA, you tend to crave wine and sugar and the muscles feel extremely tight, just bunched up into a ball. And wine is all you think about. That's a surefire way I know I need GABA. And it's actually how I stopped drinking wine, because wine was a sugar craving for me and a way to release stress and anxiety and tension. So I no longer drink wine because it disrupts my sleep, but GABA was one of the remedies to help me stop drinking wine. So I hope that helps you. Additionally, if you have low serotonin, tryptophan can help. And the way you would know that is if you worry, have rumination, and you have cravings and insomnia. So again, be careful with these amino acids. It's not to be taken every single day. It's a wait and see sort of remedy. So you're looking at your symptoms and then choosing the amino acid based on your symptoms. So 2 things your healthcare team may have not addressed when you turn to them and say, I'm struggling with insomnia, heart palpitations, and anxiety. Number 4 is a methylated B vitamin. Now, I'd say 90% of my clients have this gene. Maybe all of them do. I don't know if everybody's been tested. But 90% of my clients have the MTHFR gene. Now, if you're curious to see if you have it as well, use the link below from Straight Gene. It's the most affordable test that I could find. And it covers whether or not you have the SNPs, the MTHFR gene, and the 2 SNPs that cause the most health problems, and they also cause anxiety and depression. Whether or not you have the gene, you may consider consuming folate rather than folic acid. Now, this is something hopefully your doctor is in tune with now, but they may or may not have told you. So looking at your supplements, looking at your food choices, notice if you're consuming a lot of folic acid. This time of detoxification and change that your body is going through is a time where you need a lot of methylation. You need a lot of support with your body because you're not sleeping a lot. You might be eating terribly because you don't have a lot of time, and you might be doing other things to make yourself feel better, like eating sugary baked goods because it just feels good, right? So by consuming folate, not folic acid, you're supporting your methylation cycle better, and you're supporting your liver better, which is really processing hormones for over 2 years after childbirth. So consider getting tested for the MTHFR gene, or look at your vitamins and consume vitamins that have folate, not folic acid. I'll leave a link below for Seeking Health, which has a great prenatal that you can take in the postpartum time, and especially if you plan to get pregnant again. They also have the Straight Gene test, and then they have a multivitamin that has folate, not folic acid in it. So look for those ingredients below. Number 5, balancing your hormones. Now, this isn't really a medication, but it's an extremely important part of your healing process. It takes up to 2 years for your progesterone to level out. And your progesterone is the feel-good hormone. It's the hormone that helps us sleep better and be calm and, relaxed, which wasn't me after having twins. I don't know about you. So progesterone dips. So your goal is to think about how your hormones are circulating in your body. And if this is of interest to you, next week's video, we're going to cover hormones and how to know when your hormones are low or high. So the majority of the time you have low progesterone. So then moms say, well, what do I do about this? The number 1 herbal remedy is Vitex chasteberry. But if you have something called PMD, which means you have little to no estrogen and you tend towards depression, then Vitex chasteberry can make your depression worse. And this is what happened to me. So we'll cover this more in next week's video. But Vitex Chaseberry could be an option, especially in a blended formula. So what that means is that you're not just taking 5 milliliters of Vitex Chaseberry in the morning before anything else, because that could cause more depression. That was suggested to me by a doctor, and it made my depression worse. So what else can you do to raise progesterone? We'll talk about that more in next week's video, but the basics are to clean up your diet, maybe consider no dairy for a short amount of time, no cow's milk anyways, especially if you live in the United States, I must say. Consider reducing plastics, getting clean with your toxins in your environment. Consider an air filter in your home. Consider a water filter as well. So these are things that are affecting your hormones and raising your estrogen levels, which makes progesterone seem low when it may not be low in fact. You may have something called estrogen dominance. So cleaning up your environment, cleaning up your diet is really one of the fastest ways to regulate your hormones. Additionally, you want to poop. You want to poop. Make sure you're pooping twice a day in an S-shaped, banana shape poop that could be broken up between two times. And what this does is helps eliminate excessive estrogen. Again, what tends to happen is moms have too much estrogen and not enough progesterone. So if you're able to lower the estrogen levels in your body, then the progesterone levels can go up. You may need more help with this by applying topical creams. They make creams now. So another way to raise your progesterone levels is, if you're not breastfeeding, is to apply a wild yam cream that also has progesterone added to it. So keep in mind, these creams are not 100% natural. They start with wild yam, and then it has to be converted in a lab to make progesterone. So just keep that in mind, that you want to be careful using these topical hormones if you are breastfeeding. If you're not breastfeeding and not sleeping, we're going to talk about this more in an upcoming video, this might be something you want to explore, is applying this cream only from day 14 to day 28. So you don't want to apply it all month long. Keep that in mind. All right, so leveling out your hormones. Another question I get about hormones is, should I do the hormone test? And it's really not a value right now. The Dutch hormone test runs about $400, and then you have to pay a practitioner. So let's go by your symptoms. I have a blog post you can check out, and we're also going to talk about it next week in the video. But your symptoms can really key into your health and how you can start addressing your hormones and balancing them naturally. So if you're fascinated in your postpartum hormones, which is definitely something that can be affecting your anxiety, your sleep, and your mood, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell. And next week, we're going to talk about postpartum hormones. Thank you.